The word for crisis in the Chinese language is wei des. Wei stands for danger and des for opportunity. Yes, we have challenges, but those challenges are also pregnant with opportunities to re-engineer our society and build back better. The crisis has given us a unique opportunity, a unique window to invest on the people, especially on education, on gender empowerment initiatives, on smart agriculture, and leapfrog our economies into the fourth industrial revolution. I don't believe in AIDS. I believe in partnership. I would rather carry my poverty with dignity and deal with people and nations and companies on a pedestal of equality, not a master-servant relationship. I don't come with a begging bowl. My continent is the richest in the world. And the trajectory of global growth is facing Africa, and Nigeria will make or mar that transition. So I move in with confidence, with cautious optimism, with hope for a better tomorrow. But most importantly, I believe that the youth of Africa are the drivers of change in Africa.
Okay, so there are three things that you can take away from this particular video. Number one is that Tinubu and Shettima do not have the same economic vision, do not believe in the same economic ideology or even developmental ideology. It means that both of them are not in the same mental space and do not believe in the same thing. It is as well in that regard may be concluded that Tinubu or Shettima disagrees with Tinubu's style of leadership, as it were, talking about the economy. We can also look at other areas when the need arise, but for now, economically and with developmental index, Shettima, because Tinubu is jumping from plane to plane, asking for loans, asking for grants and aids and all over. But here is Shettima saying that he do not believe in aids. He went further to say, rather carry his poverty in dignity, dignifying level of carrying his poverty than request for loans and request for aid. He believes in partnership. We'll get to all that. So that's number one, established. Number two, it also means that Kazim Shettima may not just be a fanatic in his religious thought, he's also an economic fanatic. Its fanaticism in his religion has been translated to a lot of other areas of his life, and that is what we are seeing right now. And then if you understand, if you go in deeper into the conversation, into this particular conversation, realize that he is a core fanatic and he's doing this lack of interest in AIDS, because a lot of these AIDS come with some form of conditions. For example, remember the Samoa aid that or loan that was accepted by Bola Tinubu, and disappointingly the Nigerian Bar Association went on to endorse it, to say there were no intriguing or hidden agenda and all of that. It took the green chambers of the National Assembly to have intervened and stopped the federal government from going ahead to accepting that particular offer. All of that indicates that Kazim Shettima, the vice president, is looking at the fact that a lot of these grants and aids come with some offers, some conditions, and some of them may have to make you relinquish some values and principles, some religious thoughts, some ideologies that you've lived with for years, because you want to accept this. So again, his fanaticism is showing. Then thirdly, the third issue that you could take out from all of this is that we are not in a system of government, as it were, right now, where you see, and very clearly from all our indication, that we have leadership, we've elected people, or people have got to powers that do not have the requisite understanding of the current situation. Because as much as I want to listen to Kazim Shettima and pick out a few things he has said that make sense, for example, the issue of partnership, but then you ask yourself, as it were, do we have the requisite offer, requisite requisite ability to be able to ask for partnership in certain way. A lot of the things we call partnership here and there, they are just grants and aid. Even the ones they call all of this, we owe the Exim Bank of China over $5 billion. What was the partnership? What did we give to them in regard? So a lot of these things actually come as grants and aids, and then we've also raised a lot of lazy African leaders. See, the problem is not with aids, because as as at 1948 here about, the American government through a law were offering aids to China of about $125 million just a few years ago. That was about 12 years later that Nigeria gained independence, right? And then, so every country is in some form of borrowing, some form of grants, some form of, the US, for example, is the biggest humanitarian donor to Africa and all other parts of the world. And then several billions of dollars is expended every year in granting aids. The problem we've had is that in Nigeria and some other countries, we've had bad managers of resources, bad leaders, and very terrible politicians that have wasted a lot of these aids, a lot of these loans. If, for example, we have taken grants, aids, or loans and invested in very critical infrastructures, in power, for example, in security, in road infrastructures, in technology, in education, in health, we will not be talking about all of this. If you take loans and you take grants and you take aids and then they are invested adequately, we will not be where we are at the moment. We would have grown past this. We would have also become a donor, because that's the goal. The goal is to transit from being major recipient to becoming major giver. And then so we've mismanaged. So again, obviously, Shettima there may not be the dullest of guys, but of course, do not really have a ideology on how to turn the forties. Again, my worry is that with the kind of environment you are in, a lot of your principles and values must align with how to making the society better. So you would rather have Nigerians go poor than to activate qualitative grants, aids, and loans that could better the people. But of course, you are privileged already. You are not poor, and you are untouched. You have an advantage. You have investment. You've got connections. You've got network. You build political bridges around the world, and then it could help you to excel. But how do we move these people from where we are? No investment is being done exactly in the lives of the people in very critical areas. I'm not saying misplaced priorities that your government has embarked on in the last couple of months, and then your party has been doing the last couple of years. We are talking about reinvestment in re-infrastructures, in re-sectors that could help to better the lives of the people and begin to pull them out of poverty. I am telling you that, Kazim Shettima, we are not proud of the poverty that we have been struck with. We want better life, and all of these loans, grants, and aids that your government and your party has collected in the last couple of years should be invested in appropriately. That's the word, appropriately, right? Appropriately, so that we'll have better life. You can go on and keep fighting Tinubu, but then it is what it is. May sense lead all of us.